Welcome back to my channel. My name is Tanonetus Kosana, and if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do so. Click the subscribe button below as well as the bell next to it in order for you to receive notifications once I have uploaded a video. And guys, please do subscribe, because I've put a goal for myself to say that in the next 2 months I really want to reach 1,000 subscribers. And I'm not gonna put pressure on myself. It's just a goal that I've put for myself, that I would like to reach 1,000 subscribers. And let's get into the story. So this is going to be a short little story. So get story time today. So it's story time. So I'm sure you read the title of the video. I'm sure you read the title of the video. So this video is all about how my ex used to stalk me, like he was my stalker. And it wasn't fun. It wasn't fun at all. So let me take you guys back. So I don't even remember what year it was, but I used to date this guy, and I was still at the University of Johannesburg, which is UJ. And guys, UJ was fun times. Like, it was good times. And at that time I used to date this guy. This is like when me and Bongs had broken up. So I was at UJ and Bongs was in Cape Town, and I was living my best life, and we were dating other people, and I was living my best life. So this guy used to work for this thing. I don't want to name it, but he was working for one of the cell phone networks. Yes, he was working for one of the cell phone networks, and I was still a student. I was at UJ. So go school, man. You know how school is. School is fun. Like, if you haven't been to university, university is an experience. Like, being at university is such an experience. I think you need to pass university life, before you get into adulthood, because that's where you get to know yourself. That's like, your 20s are supposed to be like the best times of your life. But anyway, so I was at UJ. The guy was working for a service provider, and at that time, I was feeling like I'm not really feeling this guy anymore. Like, I'm not feeling him anymore. We had gotten into a lot of arguments, and things were just not fun. Things were just not fun anymore. I was in a different space in my life where now I want to party. I want to go to Melville. I want to go out with friends. And I was still living at home, mind you. I was traveling between home and school. So we used to live in the same hood, but like, when you're at school, you have a totally different crowd, and then when you are at home, you've got totally different people, and some people don't understand, and people will judge you to say, "You, since I go university, what coma or whatnot," but it's a totally different space, totally different life. Who different to be in university? So anyway, so things were not great. I felt like there was a time where I felt like the relationship was a little bit abusive, and I just wanted to leave it. I wanted to step out and just leave the relationship. And there was a time where this guy was like, "No, you can't leave me. You have to be with me. Like, we've been in this relationship, so like you can't leave me." And I'm like, this guy is crazy. Like, he's becoming scary, and he's becoming crazy, and I don't like it. So anyway, what I did was like, okay, cool, fine, this guy, he doesn't want me to leave him, but like, I told him that I don't want him anymore, and he doesn't want to take that. He doesn't want to take the fact that I'm saying I'm saying I don't want to be in this relationship anymore. And he's like, no, you can't leave me, whatnot, whatnot. And to a point where, you know, he sort of became a little bit abusive, and I was like, I'm not for this, so I'm just going to, like, I'm going to ghost him, basically, because I told him that I don't want to be with him. So I'm just going to ghost him, and I'm just going to focus on school. Okay, cool. So this one time, actually not even this one time. So what he used to do, he liked calling me. Like, he would call me like 10 times in a day. Like, I'm in class. Sometimes I would be in class and he would call and call and call and call, and I would have like 10 missed calls. And I'm like, this guy, he knows very well that I'm in class. Why is he then doing what he's doing? And, you know, and at that time I just felt like, you know what, I'm just going to, I mean, this guy's back at university. I was that girl, I was that girl who said, you know what, I'm not going to date anyone within the varsity, because I want to be free. I want to be able to do whatever I want to do. If I want to go to Melville during the day and do whatever, I want to do that. I don't want like policing. I don't want someone who's going to police me for campusing. And guys, you know what? University is like the best life you can ever have. Like, go UJ. Let me tell you about UJ. So at UJ, there's like lawn. Hona le tlhaga ka summer. Ka summer. We would like laze around on that grass, and we would sit on that grass and would just laze around. That's why I didn't do my course in record time, but like, it was so fun. Like, being at UJ was so fun. On Fridays, there would be like DJ sessions, and there was a pub at school. So like Fridays would go drinking, and DJs would come, SAPC would come, and Bobonang would have like stages, and there would be competitions, and there would be like all these things. So it really, really used to be fun. Like, it used to be so good to be there. So anyway, so this guy, so at varsity, there was like a lot of guys who, you know, who wanted me to be their girlfriend, and like people would ask me out, and and obviously, like, you know, I had that thing, like, I'm not gonna date university guys. But I mean, sometimes I would be like, okay, you know what, let me try, let me see if, you know, I like this guy. Let me not subject myself to say, I want a guy who's working, I want a guy with a car. No, like, then I said, you know what, you're not working, you don't have all those things, so zama to make relationships within the university. So then there was this one guy, and he had my numbers, and, you know, he wanted to go out and date and whatnot. And the guy would be like, you know, I want to take you out for lunch. So I'd be like, okay, no, it's fine, where do you want to go? And the guy would be like, no, let's go McDonald's. So McDonald's was like literally across the street. So he was like, no, let's go to McDonald's, let's like relodula, ribue and whatnot. Okay, cool, sharp. So this is like, the guy texted me like at night to say, you know, let's meet tomorrow, let's go have lunch, Ariloja, and then let's just go to McDonald's, which is, you know, I mean, it's a walking distance from the campus. And then, you know, let's see what will happen. Okay, cool. Following day, then I go to McDonald's with this guy. Then I go McDonald's. You know, we just chilling, rabu and whatnot. Mind you, guy wafuna, like, he's calling and because he used to call me so much. Sometimes I would just put my phone on silent and I would just leave it there, because he would call so much during the day, and he would call, and I would just ignore his calls. And then, on that particular incident at McDonald's, then later on during the day, because I used to take the bus home. So later on during the day, after I've been to McDonald's and whatnot, ke palame basi, and then now I'm going home. Like it's late, you know. So I'm going home. Then Gabona, he's calling me. I'm on the bus. Get Arabe phone. Pick up the phone. Yeah, what's up? Hey, I've been calling you and whatnot. I'm like, I've been in class. And then he goes like, no, you're lying. And I'm like, no, seriously, I've been in class. And he goes like, no, umaka, like you are lying. And I, okay, cool, sharp, goodbye. Drop a phone. When I get go locationing, go high. I'm like, he's waiting for me, go koning. He's like literally waiting for me by the corner. Okay, cool. Hi, how are you? You know, and you could see that he's mad. He's like angry. So, get my words. And then, what's wrong? Then he goes like, yeah, wena, wangjolela. And I'm like, nah, no, I get jolele mope. Like, I'm not dating anyone. Yeah, wena, ibile, you don't take my calls because you're sitting with your boyfriend at McDonald's. And I'm like, what? I'm sitting with my boyfriend at McDonald's. I'm like, this guy. So now I'm thinking, did he read my messages or what? Like, then I'm like, no, I was not at McDonald's. I was at school. I had a class, like I had a late class. And he says, no, I've got your schedule. Like, timetable, so I know exactly what time your classes are. I'm like, sometimes we've got tutorials and like tutorials are in between, so you don't know. Okay, fine. Then, you know, we had an argument and whatnot. And then when I got home, I was like, okay, you know what? I need to go study. Goodbye, sharp. Mind you, this is like probably what? Like the final year. I think it was like my final year. Okay, no sharpo. You know, like during the year, I'm telling him like, man, you know when you're not feeling someone, like you're not feeling him. Okay, fine, cool. After the McDonald's incident, then there was this one time I was writing exam, and then UJ introduced this thing of writing exams like at 6 o'clock at night. So like this one time he's calling me, and I told him that, you know what, I'm writing an exam, and I'm writing this exam at 6 in the evening. So don't come to my house because, you know, I won't be there. So next thing, and my dad knows very well that I'm writing an exam. So this guy goes to my house. He goes Olombadla. Mind you, at that time, it was just like my dad, like, you know, he knew him. So this one time I'm writing an exam. Why Olombadla? And my dad says, no, Tando is writing an exam. He says, no, Tando Wamaga. And I'm like, this guy. So, okay, fine. My dad tells him, no, I'm writing an exam and whatnot. So I guess then he goes home. Then I'm done. Like, I think I was done around 7:30 to write. And then I was on the bus. So there was like the last bus. So I took the last bus to go home. When I get home, when I was on the bus, I called my dad and said to my dad, no, please wait for me at where I'm getting off, because it was like late. So my dad says, no, it's fine. I'll wait for you. Just call me when you're nearby. Then fine. I call my dad to say that, you know, I'm nearby, come. Then he comes to the corner. Mangkliga ekonin. My dad is there. Okay, fine. Nyashiga, you know, I'm walking with my dad. Then the guy is approaching, like, you know, he's coming our direction. Then he says, hi. So he greets us. Hi, you know, whatever, hello. Then my dad walks in front of us and then leaves us behind. And then he says, when are you lying? You were not writing an exam. I'm like, how do you know that I was not writing an exam? Because I was writing an exam. How can I come home late? And then he says, no. You were in Melville drinking with your friends. I'm like, I don't even smell like alcohol. I didn't sleep the previous night because I was studying. And then when you come and then instead how did you write? Like, baby, a young exam. You're just shouting and shouting that I was in Melville drinking with my friends. So fine, you know what? I was just so over this guy and like literally over him. And I just told myself that, you know what? I'm just going to take a break from this guy and this guy must not come to my house anymore. And I told him like, you know what? Please, like this is, it's over between us. And okay, fast forward later, the following year, exams were done. Then the following year, like maybe around February, Mr. Bongsi wa phone. Hey, like, I want us to get back together. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. I mean, I don't mind getting back together with you. Then, so obviously, you know, now we were going on dates and, you know, things were fun. And I think I was working that year. Yeah, so I was working that year. Things were fun. And like, you know, now me and Mr. Bongs are back together. You know, like, I'm in love again. Things are good. Then, this guy used to stalk me, guys. Like, I would get random phone calls. Like, at home. I'd get random phone calls, like, in the middle of the night. And then I would get, like, phone calls to say that, like, where's gate? And, like, it was scary. Like, at that time I was like, this guy is crazy. But it was really, really scary. So this one time, you know, Bongs comes to pick me up at work. And then we go to Westgate. So we go to Westgate. We were just having dinner there. So I called my dad and told him, you know what? I'm going to be home late. And, you know, I'm going out with a friend. I'm going to have dinner. And then I'm gonna catch a movie, so I'm gonna be home late. Okay, no, fine. Like always gate. Like now we're having dinner, we're sitting down, we're having dinner. This guy won't phone ela. And guy is like Oko trumps. I'm like, so what? Like me and you have broken up. So what do you want? He says no, Oko trumps. And you're with your boyfriend. I'm like, yes, I'm with my boyfriend. And he Trumps, I'm having dinner at Trumps. And he says, this is what you've been doing. And I'm like, no, I haven't been doing funny things. And I told you that it's over. So what is it that you want from me? You know, like umpatang. And this guy is like he's like following me everywhere that I'm going. And every single time I'm somewhere, I'd get a phone call to say that I'm watching you. You know, I'm watching you, I can see where you are. And I'm like, you know what? This guy, like, I'm up to here with him. So this one time when I was at Westgate Bongs, so I'm telling Bongs to say that, you know what? This guy, like, he follows me everywhere. And like once like, you know, and I don't, like now I'm really afraid because I don't know what he's going to do. So Bongs like was like, man, maybe he's just being childish or whatever, and you know, he'll get over it. Okay, no, fine, cool. I think then I think it was a bit quiet for like maybe a month, and then April came. I think, yeah, April came. I remember in April there was like this long weekend, like Easter weekend, and that Easter weekend, so my dad would go to church for like, you know, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, then Monday again, and I would be home alone. So this one time, I think it was Saturday, it was Easter Saturday. So this one time he comes to my house, knowing, I think he saw when my dad was going to church, so he came. So like at home, the gates are always locked. Like the gates are always locked. You can never just walk in at my parents' house. Like the gates are always locked. You need to ring a bell. You ring a bell to say, I'm here, can you open for me? So the bell rings. Just after my dad left, the bell rings. Bell ring, okay, cool. And then I go outside, I go check, so I can see him, like he's by the gate. So I go there. He says to me, hey, I would like politely, you know, like very sweet, polite, like now he's calmed down and his storm is over, or whatever he was going through is over. So he comes and says, you know what, I'd like to talk to you. So like, okay, cool. So I open the gate. Stupid me. I open the gate. He comes in. Okay, cool. He comes in. So we like sitting outside. We're not even going inside the house. We're sitting outside. So he's talking like, no, I want you back. I want you back. Like, I'm in another relationship now. Like, I can't be with you. I want you back. Can we try again? You know, I'll be like the person that you want me to be. And I'm like, you know what? And mind you, Shem, the guy didn't cheat on me or anything like that. I just felt like we were in different places. And like, you know, university had opened me up to possibilities of life, possibilities of lifestyle, and all those things. I mean, you can't compare working, you know. Yes, he was working, he was working, but I was studying towards something, you know, like I wanted to be in corporate, and he was working for like a cell phone network, like he was doing call center. And there's nothing wrong with call centers, but I didn't see a future for us because he didn't want to go to university. Basically, he didn't want to go to university, and he had an opportunity to go to university because he could have studied with UNISA or whatever, but he didn't want to go to university. He wanted to work. And for me, the bigger picture was that, what was instilled in me at home was that you need to go to university so that you can get an education, and then you need to work and stand on your own 2 feet and be your own person. So for him, I felt like he skipped a stage. He went from high school and then straight to work, and you know, in between and growing up, he didn't have that. So anyway, I was like, okay, cool, you know what, nah, I don't want to be with you. I really don't want to be with you. I'm at a different place in my life, and I'm in a new relationship now, so like, please don't make this thing messy. Woo! When I said that, yeah, he pulled out a gun on me, and I never actually told my parents. I remember the only person that I told was a friend. So his dad, I think his dad is a cop or whatever. But yeah, someone Goboni is a cop. He pulled out a gun on me, and at that time he's like pressing me against the wall, and he was like, you know, I can kill you right now. And I'm like, you want to kill me, and then like, I don't want to be with you. Can you really kill someone for that? And this guy's like, I can kill you. I can pull the trigger now and kill you because you don't want to be with me. And I'm like, but I don't want to be with you because me and you are not compatible, you know. So is it possible for you to like at least, you know, let me go, let me live my life, and, you know, live your life. I'm sure there's someone out there who will make you happy. But luckily nothing happened that night. And, you know, I think he just came back to his senses and he left. And thank God he left. Fast forward later, this guy would come to my house. He would hoot like at 12 a.m. Autare koloi, autare. And tell me and call me on the phone and say, "Tswela kontle, like come outside." And I'm like, for what? Like, I can't come outside. Like, my dad is in the next room sleeping. And I can't, like, now unlock and come outside and do what? And this guy would harass me. Yo, motonang harasa. Like, at work, I remember at work. So at work, everyone had their own numbers. This guy would call me at work. He would call me at work and say to me, "I'm outside the gate. Can you like come outside?" And I'm like, "No, I can't come outside. I'm at work." and like, please lose my numbers. Why are you still calling me? Like, please lose my numbers, because I feel like now I need to go open a case against you, because what you're doing is actually wrong. Guys, like, you know, it took me probably like 6 months to like now get everything moto kilo madlela batho, and someone must deal with this guy. Like, someone must deal with this guy. And you know, at that time my dad was like even asking me like, Thando, what's wrong? Like, what's happening? And I would be like, no, there's nothing wrong, you know, there's nothing wrong, I'm fine, or whatever. And I was scared to even talk, because if I had told my dad that this guy is doing this, my dad was going to be at his house. He was going to beat him up. So I was afraid of that. I was afraid for my dad to be in our business. So, like, you know, it was like, now I feel like now, because now it has happened a long time ago, I could have handled the situation in a different way. I remember there was this guy, Kenny was like, there's this guy Kenny, like, he used to own a salon in Kagiso. Kenny was like, you know what, this guy, because he's making your life a misery. And you know, I was not even like crying or like but I was emotional, because now I was afraid that this guy is actually going to kill me, and I'm afraid to even tell my parents that, you know, something like this is happening to me. And you know, it took a long time for him to actually stop. And I even called his mom, and I said to his mom, you know what, I'm actually scared of what this guy is going to do to me, because the way he's going on, I don't like it, and I'm actually scared. And I think that time when I actually called his mom spoke to him and said, you know what, you're gonna get arrested, and once you get arrested, this thing is going to be big. I tell you, his mom doesn't even greet me, or he would see me somewhere, he doesn't even greet me, because now it feels like I was the wrong person. You know, I was the wrong person because I had moved on with my life. And I needed to move on with my life, because there was no way that I was going to be, you know, a victim. There was no way that I wanted to be. Like, I didn't want to become a victim. I have a cousin who got shot when she was 21 years old. And simply because she had told the guy that, you know, I don't want to be with you anymore. And this guy went and dragged this girl, my cousin that is, you know, dragged my cousin and dragged her to his house and shot her, like, you know, at close range, and shot her because simply, like, my cousin doesn't want to be in a relationship, you know, with him. And one thing that guys must understand is that sometimes we are just not the right, like, I'm not the right person for you, you know. And Luena, man, as a human being, you can see when relationships are going the right direction, you know, and you can see when relationships are not going the right direction. And why stay in a relationship where I can simply see that, you know, me and this person, we don't make sense together. And once the relationship became abusive, that's when I felt like, no, like, I can't be in such a relationship. And at that time I was very young. Like, I was young. I was still living my life. I was coming home like the following day because I was partying and having fun, and I was in university. And that's what, you know, people do in their young life. And it's something that I felt like he missed a stage. He missed a stage where he's supposed to do that, you know, because he went from school to work. And like in between, you go to university, you enjoy your life and whatnot. So yes, guys, that's what happened to me, where my ex-boyfriend was my stalker. And I just want to share a little message with you guys to say that if you're in an abusive relationship, you need to pack your bags. I know it's not easy. You need to pack your bags. You need to report that person, and you need to get out of their life, because you are going to become a victim. You are going to become a victim. That person is going to kill you. So luckily for me, I managed to, or the person that was stalking me managed to calm himself down and leave me alone. But if you are in an abusive relationship, or if you do have a stalker, you really need to report the person. You really need to report the person, because especially now, I feel like guys now, people are going through a lot, and they take those things into their relationships. So someone will be stressed at work, then they take that stress from work and they put it in their relationship. So if you are really in such a bad relationship, please report the person. I know it's not easy. Report the person, or just leave the relationships and go start afresh. We are so scared to say, I've been in this relationship for 3 years. I've invested my emotions in this relationship. But if someone is abusive towards you, you really need to leave that relationship. So with that said, thank you guys for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. And as women, let's stand together and have a unit, be united. My other friend likes saying him and his family are the Mhlanga United. So as women, we need to be united in womanhood. But thank you so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, please give it a big thumbs up, and I will see you on the next one. Don't forget to subscribe as well as share this video. I'm sure it can help someone out there. And with that said, goodbye.